Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping and lending me your valuable time. I know your time is precious, and I don't want to take up much of it. I just want to introduce myself and explain to you why you found me. You see, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe that we find people for a reason, whether it be for just a moment, to be entertained by a silly video, or whether it be for meaningful, valuable information, a really beneficial exchange of energy. Your soul had you click on this video because you wanted to hear what I had to say for some reason. And I hope that I can bring some value to you in exchange for your time. My name is Angel. I go by several other names on the internet, always changing and evolving for the purpose of surviving on social media today. But more importantly, what you need to know is that it is my life purpose to help you and others like you. See, I have suffered quite a bit in my adult life. And like everyone, I suffered in my childhood too, even though I had a really good childhood compared to most. I didn't realize how little things sculpted me and my perception of the world and held me back in a huge way because of limiting my self-confidence and basically taking away my power. Things that other kids did, things that family members did, things I saw in the media, things I saw in entertainment, things in school, church, all have an influence over how your beliefs and morals are sculpted. And unfortunately, even when my life was really, really good, I didn't understand the power that I had and the power that others had on me. And see, now, as an adult, I became critically, chronically ill, like to the point where I thought I was going to die. I thought for sure I was going to die of cancer or a heart attack or a stroke at a very young age. And I continued to get sicker and sicker and sicker for over 20 years. It was actually 22 years before I finally began having a spiritual awakening and started tuning into my intuition and learning how to listen to my soul on a soul level. And my soul started guiding me to start listening to my body more and start tuning into my body and what it was trying to tell me. And it explained to me that my body had a message, and everything that was going on within my body was a message, an important message. And I went to doctor after doctor after doctor, and I started taking medicines, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, trying all these remedies to try and get rid of this now chronic illness that became a disability, leaving me in bed 5 to 6 days a week, unable to get out and enjoy life, let alone work outside of my home or at all most of the time. But it robbed me of many, many years of joy and experiences with my children and my family and loved ones. And so when I began to awaken to my spirit within and realize that I had a direct connection to God, creator, source, energy, the universe. For me and my videos, I call it God. To me, it's a higher power known as God. To you, you may think of your higher power as the universe, creator, or source energy. No matter what, it's all one of the same. It's just what we choose to identify it as. And my God is an amazing energy force. And see, growing up, I believed from what I was taught that I was cut off from that energy source, that it was some source way out, like in outer space or somewhere, that I could never really connect with, and that I had to get on my knees and pray to it and beg it for help and wait for that help to arrive. And yet, it seemed like too often that never arrived. But that's because I was cut off from it. I didn't understand it, and I didn't know how to listen to it. I would ask for help, and then I'd miss the answer because I was believing the lie, that I was cut off from it. I was separate from it. But see, through my spiritual awakening and all my suffering and my pain And there was a lot of pain, like all day long, full body physical pain. Like imagine you switched on your pain receptor and then you never turned it off again for over 23 years. And it's through your whole body, 24 hours a day, to the point where you are chemically dependent upon a really heavy narcotic drug, legal, by the way, that just to get out of bed, and then even then you can't always do that. You can't care for yourself. Well, imagine not finding the answer and being able to believe that you're connected to God. I mean, that would really do some downing on your belief in that power, right? But see, the thing is, as I tuned in more and I started to learn spiritually that that was a lie and that I wasn't cut off from God, and that I had the power within me to connect to this energy, because we are all made of energy. Energy vibrates. Everything vibrates, from a remote control to a crystal to a bottle of water. Water itself vibrates, and everything vibrates at its own frequency. And if you can align with that frequency, you can connect with it. The same way you can send a message from this transmitter that is vibrating at its own frequency, and it bounces your message to a nearby cell tower that sends it all the way up to a satellite, back to another cell tower in another place in the country or the world, and to someone else's transmitter, whether it be a phone, a laptop, whatever your device. That's sending an energy signal. When you tune in on your tuner, that tune button or dial on your stereo, it works to find the right frequency. It's just looking for energy. And once it finds the right frequency, it tunes into your favorite radio station through the air, miraculously. How do you think that works? Well, see, we all have a transmitter within our body. Our bodies are transmitters. And we have the ability to connect to one another, to other living things, but also to that God source energy. And with that energy comes all-knowing, omnipotent power and wisdom. Information, the information and the answers that you look for your whole life, you have the ability to connect to within and receive them. And I, after so many years of going down the wrong way, looking for the answers in the wrong places, medical doctors, so-called specialists, clergymen, teachers, parents, well-meaning, but not God's source energy, I finally figured it out that I can connect to that. We all can. And now, for the last few years, I've worked hard at honing that skill, and it gave me the ability to tune into other people's energy and get answers for them. And I became what is called, actually I was all along, I just didn't know it, but I remembered that we have the ability to be an intuitive medical medium. An intuitive medium, a medical intuitive, there's many different names for it. I'm a medical intuitive. And that means that I can tune into your energy, your body, scan your body, figure out where the imbalances are and what the solution is. I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, because diagnosing means placing labels on a set of symptoms. Sometimes knowing the answer, but more than often not having a clue what the answer truly is. And then trying to band-aid it to give you some relief, to get rid of the symptoms temporarily, but 99% of the time, it's just a band-aid. And you have to keep applying that band-aid over and over again, whether it be through a drug, whether it be through some kind of therapy or an adjustment, instead of getting to the root problem of where the imbalance is. Because all disease, whether mental, emotional, whether it be physical, is due to an imbalance somewhere in one of your bodies. Meaning emotional body and mental, in your physical body, emotional, physical, and spiritual, your spirit body. If there's an imbalance in any one of them, we're so connected in it as a whole that it throws off many different areas of each of those bodies. So figuring out where that imbalance is, figuring out what causes it, and figuring out then how to fix it has been the gift that God has given me. But I had to suffer years and years to find the truth, because I realized it's my life purpose. It's my passion now, but I didn't know that I had a greater purpose, that all that suffering was not for naught. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it was not for naught. It was for a good reason. I had to learn everything there was to learn about my body, and I had to experience pain. I had to experience the suffering. I had to experience the trials that go along with that and how it affects the bigger picture, how it affects the people around you. I had to experience all of that so that I could be the best healer possible for you and anyone else that needs it. See, I can go to college and learn a lot of stuff, but you're not going to learn this kind of stuff. I could go and be a doctor, a nurse, a massage therapist, and I may give a lot of ease and comfort to people, but it's very limited in scope. You're not going to learn how to tune into the physical body, the mental part of that for emotional issues, and the emotional and spiritual body, to listen to them and hear them straight from them what is wrong with you. You're not going to learn that in school. I had to learn it firsthand through years of personal experience. If you believe in science, you understand you put a certain set of criteria and circumstances around the patient or the lab rat or whatever you're studying, your subject, and you expose it to those criteria of circumstances, and then you observe it, and you make observations and then draw a conclusion from it. Well, guess what? I was the ultimate scientific experiment, thrown into a set of circumstances and criteria for years, while my higher self observed, and then I became an outcome, and the conclusion is what I've become today, and now how I can help others, because I lived it firsthand. I am the science. But I also went to school during these times and took online courses to learn really important, valuable skills about teaching, life coaching, spiritual life coaching, muscle testing, and quantum nutrition testing, and all kinds of other valuable skills that create a whole, that feed information into the intuitive side that allow me to interpret what comes through intuitively, to be able to interpret it correctly. See, you need a whole bunch of tools in your tool belt to be a good healer. And so now, for the last few years, I've been a work in progress. I'm not 100% yet. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I am 100% cured, but I am this close. I am so much better than I had been for the last 23 years. I went from 5 or 6 days a week in bed, sometimes in a wheelchair, having others having to take care of me and my kids, to now only having 1 or 2 difficult days, not bad, but more difficult days. And those are usually after I've overdone it and not listened to my body, or I had to push past something and go through something to assist my family or somebody that I loved. Or because there's another spiritual purpose behind it of something else I need to learn. That's usually why I still suffer from a couple bad days here and there. But I'm doing so much better now. And now I know that it's my purpose to share everything that I've learned with you and anyone else that needs this valuable information. How did I do it? How am I so much better? And how do I know for a fact that I'm going to be cured completely? I will share that with you if you come with me on my journey. But understand that I'm still a work in progress, as we all are, because I'm also on a deep spiritual journey, continuing to learn. I call myself a soul translator because I can teach you how to tap into your soul and translate what it's trying to tell you. That connection to God and Spirit coming through you and your soul. And your soul knows your plan for this life and what you're going through and why. So I help you translate that. But I'm also a health and balance coach, an intuitive health and balance coach, to help you learn how to balance your health and get it back. But spiritually, I teach you how to step into that power that you have that you don't even realize you have, and teach you how powerful you are and how it all fits together to make up the whole picture of you. And you need it all. You need to heal the emotional, you need to heal the physical, but you also need to tune into and learn the spiritual to put the whole package together and create the life you want for yourself. So maybe you're not sick. Surely there's an ailment that bothers you, flares from time to time, that you could benefit from this information. But what about relationships? Unhealthy relationships, clutter in your life, whether it be relationships or physical clutter, your daily life. How about a toxic environment? It's all healing. It's not just the physical. Do you know that part of you is containing emotional baggage right now, that until you clear that baggage, which is energy, emotional energy, you can't be completely physically healthy because it's holding back your physical health? Even if you think you're really healthy, there's something emotional that needs to be healed. Because I'm sure your life's not perfect, right? We all have things we need to work on that we could improve. Your relationships can suffer because of the emotional baggage, stuff you bring with you from past relationships and childhood and early adulthood. So I'm here to help you with all that. I'm a mother of 3. I'm a grandmother. I have a 3-year-old grandson and another one on the way. Grandbaby. Don't know if it's a boy or girl. I do know, but I'm not saying. And I am here now to step into my greater power, into my purpose for life, and that is to help guide you and your loved ones, anyone that needs it. That's who I am. I'm Angel. I'm your medical intuitive, your soul translator, and your intuitive health and balance coach. So please click to subscribe to this channel. Please share the videos, like the videos, so that I can help as many people as possible. Because if you do that, the message will spread, more people will find me, and we will connect in a way where we can truly make a difference, healing ourselves and each other. And during such a difficult time in this world, such a challenging time in this world, but also such a glorious and wonderful time in this world, now is the time. Now, you more than ever in your life, you are being called to heal. Heal yourself. Take back your power that's been robbed from you by so many means. Step into that power and start shining your light more than ever before. And if we all do that, and we can find a peace and a calm and a neutral point because of how healed we are, that we can observe what's going on in the world around us without triggering, without reaction, but at peace, can you imagine how much will change the world? And it all starts with you. So I'm doing it. Join me and let's do it together. Become family with me. And let's change this world, starting with ourselves. I love you, and I can't wait to connect with you in a much bigger way. Let's start the healing.